Hey guys, and welcome back to a MotoGP Rider Career Mode episode, and we are here for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And if you guys did miss the last episode of Austria, then I do urge you to go check that one out in the card annotation in the top right hand corner. But we're going to be going for the British Grand Prix today, my home race at Silverstone, and I'm going to be hoping to have a good race here today and try and continue in a good run of form that we've been in the last couple of races, and coming back with a pretty good run. But realistically, the pressure is on. We need to get a big result. I'd even say we have to get a win. And Silverstone hasn't been my best track in the last 2 seasons. So there's a lot of pressure on this race. And I'm not particularly ready for the pressure. But we've got to try our best if we want to stay in the hunt for the World Riders' Championship. So we need a big result this weekend. And the best way to do that is by kicking off with a positive qualifying result. So with that being said, let's jump straight to Saturday for the British Grand Prix. Okay, so we're currently in Q1. 3 tenths down in the third sector. Bike feels good. I'm just getting acclimatised to the track because Milestone's version of the Silverstone track is completely different to real life and also Co-Masters on the F1 game. So different style of track, and also the finish line is still the old original one. So let's see how this first lap was, this banker lap, and it's going to be 1,000ths off second place, so not too shabby. I remember the final sectors where I lost a lot of time in Moto 3 and Moto 2, so that was actually my best sector there, so not too shabby. But let's see if we can try and get that first place. Right, this time we're 2 tenths up, so we're looking pretty good. Just got to get it perfect through the final corner here and not rush into things. Nice and easy. Third gear action to try and get the best possible traction out the corner. And now we've got to get the final corner absolutely nailed. It's flat out in Formula 1. In MotoGP, it's a real fine art to get the line right, but we are going to go fastest, I think. Yes, we do. We go P1 by 7 tenths. And that is a bit more of a convincing lap time. Half a second gain in the final sector. And that is us comfortably into Q2. Right, so just to confirm, we are joined in Q2 by a fellow Ducati rider, Danilo Petrucci there. So, 2 Ducatis into Q2, which is good news, and that is, I think, except for Scott Redding, every single Ducati, or the work, sort of important Ducati in Q2, so let's get into it. Right, so we're going to get ready for a first couple of laps here, I think, in Q2, but it's going to be a real tricky one because the lap time's obviously stepped up a level, so 56.0 is the fastest lap. We can only do like a 56.7, I believe, in Q1, so let's see what we can do. We're looking good so far. We're half a second down in the middle sector, but the lap time's been improving as the lap's gone on. So we lost 3 tenths in the first sector, 4 tenths in the first sector, a tenth in the second. We equaled in the third, and now we're going for the fourth. So let's see if we pull anything back on that half a second on our first attempt. No, we don't. We actually lose half a second, which is quite surprising. So let's try and go again. Right, I'm currently 6 tenths down, but I've absolutely nailed the start of this final sector here. If I can just improve on my last lap, then we'll be okay. This time we get that final corner, or penultimate corner, a lot better. Nice and close to my teammate, Dovizioso. And we're going to try and keep nice and close here for the final corner. Up to the line. Do we improve? Yes, we do. And we match the final best sector, but we get it all wrong into turn 1, taking the wide line. But we're up into P7 now, so making a good bit of recovery. Let's see if we can try and maybe improve on this lap. Okay, this could be the one. We're an improvement. Half a second off in the third sector. If I can just get the final one right, then we could be into the money here. This time we're going to try and absolutely nail this one. Get the power on nice and early. Keeping a nice line. We keep it nice and tight this time. There we go. Power on nice and early. Use all the track to our advantage. And across the line, we do improve. And we go P6. So we just about get it. Only 5,000ths from getting P5. So not too bad. But in the end, we do pull through and pull out a pretty good lap right at the end of it. And Marquez takes pole position ahead of Valentino Rossi, only just, and also Maverick Vinales. Those three very, very close indeed. And then Dovi gets P4 in the first of the Ducatis. Cal Crutchlow P5 in his home race, and with a second Brit behind him. And we join him on the third row, just, which was very good for us. And we just beat Danny Pedrosa there. Also beating Jorge Lorenzo, which is good news. So overall, a positive qualifying, and P6, give or take about what I expected, if not slightly better, because I knew I didn't have a lot of pace in this track, but hopefully with the good grip position we can now do the damage in the race tomorrow. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 4 red lights. Lights out and away we go at Silverstone. It's a pretty okay start from us, nothing spectacular, but it's good enough, and we've only lost a couple of places. We're going to turn on for the first time. And unlike qualifying, I've changed my strategy a bit. I've opted for the double hard, so hard front, hard rear. Whereas in qualifying, I ran the medium front for a bit more aggressive front end. But now we've gone for the double hard. A little bit of contact here with the Iannone, and we actually dropped through the pack a little bit here after turn 1. So we've got to try and recover the positions as we go into Chapel. going on to the hangar straight. We're going to try and set ourselves up for a move here, using all the tyres and onto the hangar straight for the first time. Slipstream on Johan Zarco in the Yamaha. We're pretty good in the brakes into this corner here, so I'm going to try and go for it up the inside of the Frenchman. Pull the nose down for the apex, just about there. And we are past Johan Zarco, so very nice move there, up into 9th place. It's going to be a long race, this one, I think. It's going to feel long anyway, as we overcook it into the chicane, but we're going to pull the nose back in, hopefully. We're going to, I think, lose a position here to Zarco, who's on my inside, but I'm going to try and set myself up for the switchback, but Iannone just prevents me from getting that. We are going to get on the inside, though, of Johan Zarco into Abbey. Going to get on the inside, pull that down for the apex, and there we go. That's a very nice move, once again, past the Frenchman here, but like I said, it's going to be a long race, so there's no rushing into the moves, and realistically, I think a win's going to be hard, but if we can just sort of get maybe a top 4, I reckon, maybe, that would be a good result. We can basically beat Crutchlow and be the lead Brit and finish P5, I think, where I can see there, then that would be a good result for us. But let's see. You never know how the race could pan out, but right now we're making swift progress and we're catching up. And I think into here, I'm pretty good on the brakes as well. Overall, just as a whole around this circuit, I feel pretty confident on the brakes. I feel like I can push them to the limit without falling off the bike as we go into the penultimate corner here. Going to pull the nose back in for a bit of a sort of switchback, late manoeuvre, squirting the throttle on nice and late as we go into the final turn at Woodcote. Keeping it nice and low. Very nice run here on Pedrosa. Have we got the momentum to get on the inside of turn 1? It's going to be close, but we just run a bit wide. Pedrosa, meanwhile, makes the move on Danilo Petrucci here. It's, I think, 3 or 4 Ducatis versus 2 Hondas. So, yeah, 3 Ducatis versus 2 Hondas. So, myself, Lorenzo, and Petrucci versus Crutchlow and Pedrosa. Good little battle, this one, but we're going to try and look for the switchback manoeuvre again here. Braking hard into Chapel. Open up the steering a little bit now as we go onto the hangar straight, and we're a little bit far back from Danilo, but we're looking good so far. Can I make the move on Danilo here? We're very close, and it's a beautiful overtake, just slipping up the inside, and now looking at the inside of Danny Pedrosa here. Is very close, a little bit of contact. We're going to get it on the brakes though into Village. Beautifully does it. A little bit of too much throttle on the exit, almost falling off the bike. Back up the inside of Danny, and there we go. We've made that overtake. That was a beautiful double overtake on Petrucci and Pedrosa, and we're now into 7th place. So right now we're looking good. Lorenzo has some good pace here early on, and he's going up the inside of Cal Crutchlow into Brooklands. We're going to go for the very early apex, pull the nose down, and hold it in for a nice start apex. We can sort of capitalise hopefully on these two battling, fingers crossed, and try and go for a move of our own. Well, we're looking very quick at the minute. I'm starting to find some pace, and I've got my mojo. In race day, I've got the pace as we got the inside of Lorenzo there quite comfortably. The AI seemed to be a little bit slow into there with the braking. Have I got the confidence to got the inside of Crutchlow here? Not quite, but we're close. Looking very racy at the minute here, and definitely some overtakes on the cars. Lorenzo's going to go up my inside here, so we're just going to try and hang around the outside there. Very close indeed. Put it down for the apex. Use the camber of the corner to keep the nose in, but up into 6th place, now back into a starting position. And we're going to try and make a move on Crutchlow now, try and set him up for an overtake. We take the early apex to avoid Lorenzo diving up my inside here. And we're going to basically set up a move on Crutchlow as Lorenzo tries to go for the sneaky one up the inside there, but I just see him coming in time, and we managed to avoid it. But here we go, opening up the steering wheel, or should I say the bar, and carrying a nice bit of speed through Woodcote there, getting right on the inside of Crutchlow. Going to break late into the first corner into Cops. There's a bit of contact with Crutchlow, but we've gone for the move and we've made it work. We used Crutchlow's bit of the corner to try and slow us down there, using him as a brake, but we've made it work. Can we catch the top 4? I've just managed to hook up an absolutely perfect lap. If this was qualifying, I'd be on for a pole lap right now. I've nailed every single corner with the utmost momentum, and that's got us right in the fight here, going on to the last lap to maybe try and get P4. Maybe even snatch a podium here. So let's see how this one pans out. Open up the traction, open up the throttle into Woodcote, keeping it very, very tight there. And onto the last lap. Can we make anything else happen? Fastest lap is from me, which is good. So confirms that lap, and it's a 56.4. So that is 1/10 faster than my qualifying lap. So it goes to show, wouldn't have been pole, but I'm lapping faster than qualifying pace, which is pretty good. And I'm running a harder front tyre. So definitely a pace improvement here, and I've still got a bit of tyres left for this final lap, so let's see what happens. I've just got it all a bit wrong into Chapel there, but it's a long final lap, and we know we're fast into the Abbey chicane. Right, if the overtake's going to happen, it's not going to be a podium, I don't think, but we can get a P3, or sorry, a P4, that's what I meant. As we got the inside of Dovi, it's a bit of a cheeky move, just barging our way past and making the move work beautifully in our favour. And now we've got Marquez in front of us, who realistically I can't see us catching unless we absolutely hook up this final sector, which, to be fair, is my fastest sector. So let's see if we can have a half a chance here of catching Mark. If we can just get it all hooked up. We are going to be fast in a straight line here, so I'm definitely going to go for it on the brakes. Try and be nice and late. Late brake manoeuvre. It's very late, very rash, and we just overcook it a little bit. I'm going to try and come back at Mark here. Can we bring it down for a shallow apex? I don't think we can. I think that's going to be all she wrote, unless I'm close enough through the final corner and get an incredible run on Marquez. But I think that is going to be it for the British Grand Prix. We're very close to a podium. We're going to fall just short, but it's an incredible race, and I found a lot of pace on race day, which is when it matters. And overall, I'm very happy with that. I did not see fourth place at all really going into the race weekend, and we take home the fastest lap, so I can feel pretty proud about that one. And I've got to say, this track definitely worked the best with the MotoGP bike, because with Moto3 and Moto2, I never really did well around here. I think my best result was like 7th, or even worse maybe. So P4, really good result. Vinales wins though, ahead of Valentino Rossi, so a big result for him in the Yamaha. And we just missed out on the podium with Marquez taking 3rd place, and we're the lead Ducati, which is good news. And we just pipped Dovi on the last lap there. So overall, a very good race for us, and that is going to mean that for the riders' standings, Valentino Rossi still leads the way ahead of Maverick Vinales, and Marquez is in P3, but realistically I think he's a little bit far away now, and he's closer to us. And I think, looking at it on paper, we can still win the championship, but I think at the minute all we can do is really aim for a P3 and try and get in that top 3 for the championship. I think it's going to be between the two Yamaha riders, with Valentino 17 points clear of his teammate, but Dovi still leads me. However, I do get some points back on my teammate after beating him this race, and he beat me in the last one, so it's all fair and square in the Ducati camp. But in terms of the constructor standings, you can see Yamaha lead the way. We're still in 2nd place, but we need to do a little bit better to try and beat the blue bikes here. And in terms of the team rankings, you can see that Yamaha still remain on top, and we are 15 points behind. But overall, that's going to be it for this episode of MotoGP, guys. Really, really enjoyable one. I really actually enjoyed driving that one, or riding that one, should I say. And the bike felt absolutely superb. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it as much as I did. If you did, then please do leave a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for plenty more MotoGP and F1 content. And other than that, guys, I do appreciate you watching. And if you're new around here, then I do urge you to go click the notifications bell, and don't miss out on any uploads from me in the near future. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.